things just took a shocking turn in Pittsburgh as the Pittsburgh Steelers look to sign their defensive star. My name is Peyton Kleppe, and on today's episode of Steelers Digest, we'll be breaking down the latest Pittsburgh Steelers reports and analysis regarding the Pittsburgh Steelers football team. As TJ Watt and the Steelers continue their negotiations, some new details have dropped regarding this update. Before we get into the latest reports, if you guys are not already currently subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below. 86% of our current viewers are still not currently subscribed. So if you do click that subscribe button, we will get you the latest Pittsburgh Steelers reports. TJ Watt is not at mandatory minicamp. This is a guy that is the face of the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise. He's the best defensive player we've had since probably James Harrison, or I'd probably say one of the best linebackers we've had since James Harrison. But this is a guy that since coming in the league in 2017, he's been a dog. He's put up some crazy seasons. Obviously did win defensive player in 2021 after his 22.5 sack season. This guy's the best defensive player in the league. He still continues to dominate at 30 years old. And, hopefully the Steelers and him can get this contract done. But, he is not at minicamp, which is, this is something that TJ Watt has never done before. Obviously, if we do look back to 2020, 2021, when he was looking to get that second contract, he did show up to everything, but he was just holding in, where he would just come in and just stand around at drills, talk to the coaches, but just still be in the building, still be around everybody, and still show face. But obviously, TJ Watt has definitely gotten a lot older and played a lot better since his last contract. So he's not showing up to mandatory minicamp. Even with Aaron Rodgers at minicamp, Aaron Rodgers is a guy that growing up I bet was TJ Watt's idol. TJ Watt is coming out of Wisconsin, probably was a Green Bay Packers fan before a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So I don't know. I'd probably be excited to see Aaron Rodgers, but, that does not excite TJ Watt enough. He's not showing up. But, Mike Garafolo, infamous Pittsburgh Steelers reporter, does feel that, this is not contentious. And, if a player does miss mandatory minicamp over the next couple of days, you don't really necessarily have to find this player. And, he did say that we will see what the Steelers wind up doing with this one. I know they feel really good about the talks, and they've had, a few different offers on the table. Coach Tomlin has the belief that TJ Watt is going to be just fine working away from the facility, so they're not stressing about that part of it. If there was a pressure point right now at the start of training camp, probably seems like it's the pressure point. I feel like this thing will get done, and at some point it will get done. Coach Tomlin also did say today he's not really worried about the situation. He said he's not surprised when reporters ask him if he's surprised that TJ Watt's not at camp. He said, I'm not surprised. In Coach Tomlin fashion, he knows that TJ Watt deserves his contract, and, he knows that it's above his pay grade. Obviously, he does have a say who he wants on the roster, but, all those financials and all that kind of stuff, that's not really up to Tomlin. That's between the organization and TJ's agent. So, he obviously does want TJ in Pittsburgh. He is a leader. He's the best defensive player on our team, probably best overall player on our team. So he does want TJ in Pittsburgh, and he's confident that the Steelers will get the deal done. But, at the moment, there's really not much Coach T can do or say that's going to change the situation at all. But, since TJ Watt is currently on contract for one more year, Steelers do have the ability to fine him under the NFL's collective bargaining agreement. So if he does miss all 3 days, and the Steelers do fine him for each day missed, this total would come out to a little bit over $100,000. Obviously, that's some chump change for our buddy TJ Watt. He's definitely been compensated pretty well in the past, but there have been some big contracts that have been signed this offseason that, would make TJ want to get a better pay grade. This is a guy that, we paid him to be the highest defensive player in 2020, 2021, and we were giving him about, I believe it was $28 or $29 million a year back then, but obviously since then the market has definitely increased a ton. And if we look at guys like Max Crosby and, of course, our buddy Myles Garrett coming out of Cleveland, they suck. But Obviously, he's this big stat patter, but he obviously got $40 million this offseason. And a guy like TJ Watt, who's been more consistent, played much better than Myles Garrett. Why wouldn't he want a contract like Myles Garrett? He plays better than him. He's a better player. He's better team leader. Obviously, he's had more success in the league, had more wins in the league than Myles Garrett. Steelers' record without TJ Watt is abysmal, so he does also have that on his side where, when the Pittsburgh Steelers do not have TJ Watt on the field, we can never seem to win a football game. Obviously, we still have guys like Cam Hayward, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig on the roster, but the TJ Watt experience is something that, not many teams will ever have that experience. Having a kind of pass rusher that, can just change a game in one play. I look back to Seattle Seahawks, I believe it was 2021 or 2022. A few years ago, we go into overtime in Seattle, or maybe it was in Pittsburgh. I don't know. Geno Smith was their quarterback. We're playing in overtime. TJ Watt, just one play out of the blue, gets the quarterback, hits him with the punch, the Peanut Tillman punch. Geno Smith fumbles the ball. Devin Bush recovers. Steelers win the game, Just plays like that just really highlight what kind of player TJ Watt is and what he can bring to your team and why we do deserve to give him the money he deserves, TJ Watt's been nothing but the best high-class player since getting drafted into Pittsburgh in 2017. This guy has exceeded expectations. He's going to be debatably better than his brother when he does retire. Obviously going to be a Hall of Famer. The real question right now is whether the Pittsburgh Steelers still value him at that same place they did in 2021. Because obviously TJ Watt is getting up there in age. He is 30, about to be 31. So if you do factor that in, the longevity aspect of it, the Pittsburgh Steelers might be looking to, upgrade some other spots on their roster. We obviously do need a wide receiver moving forward. We do need a quarterback after this year, depending on how Aaron Rodgers plays and his decision moving forward. So we'll probably have to get a quarterback in here the next couple of years. We still got a lot of pieces on offense we need to fill, like the offensive line. Cornerback is a position that we still need to upgrade. So the Pittsburgh Steelers could be analyzing the whole team and really taking a second look on if TJ Watt is really worth that $40 million paycheck, that $40 million a year, because the Pittsburgh Steelers do not have a ton of money. We're not a team like Dallas Cowboys or the New York Giants that can just dish out a ton of money here, there, and wherever. So they really got to use their money very sparingly. But I do think the Pittsburgh Steelers, Omar Khan, Coach T, obviously Rooney family, I feel like they will get this done. They do want TJ to stay in Pittsburgh for the rest of his career, want him to stay in the black and gold. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Pittsburgh Steelers do get this deal done very soon or before training camp. Because like I said, although the price tag is high for TJ Watt, I do have trust in Omar Khan and the rest of the Steelers organization to get this contract done. Unfortunately, that's all I have for you guys today on Steelers Digest. If you guys are not already currently subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below. Thank you so much. Here we go, Steelers.